Are you looking for a home to call home? Maybe an apartment, a townhouse. How about an autonomous Danish territory in the Arctic? Ooh. Hi, I'm Jake Bevans, managing owner, co-owner, head broker, head joker at Bevans Realty. I also designed the logo. I want my client's experience to be personal, so I try to put myself in their shoes.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna fit.
Get the shoehorn, Jazz! What I've noticed is that today's clients are looking for a territory to mark as their territory. And while some might say Greenland is not for sale, here at Bevans Realty we say, whatever. Okay, so Greenland is definitely not for sale. But if it was, well, it's something the US president maybe wants to buy.
So the concept came up, and I said certainly strategically it's interesting, and we'd be interested, but we'll talk to them a little bit.
Greenland is this big island here. It's actually a territory of Denmark, although it has its own government and its own laws. Also, most of the island is covered in ice, and only 56,000 people live there. So why would the US president want to buy it? Well, apart from being pretty and the best place to see this, wow! It's also full of natural resources like coal, zinc and copper. Oh, and it's in a good strategic spot for things like military bases, which America has there already. In fact, the US has tried to buy Greenland before. In 1946, they offered Denmark $100 million in gold for it. Obviously, the sale didn't go through. But the US does have a history of buying territories from other countries. You see, before the US was the US, different countries owned and occupied different parts of it. Up until 1803, this section, the territory of Louisiana, belonged to France. At the time, France was a little concerned about going to war with the Brits and needed money. So they ended up selling it to the US for $15 million, which even at the time was a total bargain. Fast forward to 1867 and the US bought Alaska from Russia for the low price of $7.2 million. Then in 1917, the US bought the Virgin Islands from none other than Denmark. But back in Greenland, the idea of being sold to the US didn't float too well with the locals.
He could buy anything, I guess, or this is what he thinks he can, but you can't. Sorry.
It doesn't feel like he understands like the reality, and it's stupid.
The Danish PM says Greenland really belongs to Greenlanders, and that thankfully the time when you can buy and sell other countries and populations is over. Which is why here at Bevans Realty we've moved on to the next big market, the sky. Because who owns the sky? Well, it could be you.
You can't own the sky.
What? Well, what about Canada? Who owns Canada?